Welcome to the Fab Four Travel Talk podcast with Christy, Gina, Eric, and Kyle. Now, sit back and relax. Let's chat about some magical destinations. Hi, everybody. I'm Gina, and I am your host this week for another edition and the final edition of Fab Four Travel Talk.
What? No.
Ooh,
Yes.
That was ominous the way she did that.
Yeah.
Did you notice that? That was like really like, I almost got chills.
Started off kind of sultry, though, didn't it?
Right? It started off,
Sorry.
and all of a sudden it just was like, whoa.
I'm sorry. Well, it sounds like it's way worse than it really is. So what we are doing is we are just branding by a new name. Nothing's changing, same host, everything. But we're moving over to Mickey Guru Travel Talk. Dun, dun, dun.
So
That's
much
gonna
of
be
that
our-
tattoo I got. Oh,
That's okay.
Yeah, some use some.
Laser's a great thing now.
Yeah.
So we're still going to be Fab Four Travel Talk is still around for a while. We are going to ask you guys to migrate over to our Mickey Guru Travel Talk, but you'll be able to have us in both places for a little while, and then we're going to eventually cancel the RSS feed for Fab Four Travel Talk. But you'll have the same Twitter account, the same Instagram. We'll have a Facebook page, everything exact same thing that we have right now for Fab 4, we're going to have for Mickey Guru. We just had some things that we needed to change around more on the back end of the house. And plus it just brands with our travel company, so it kind of makes a little more sense. So that's where you'll find us.
Yeah, and we're actually really looking forward to that. It's going to be nice to have everything all under the one hood.
Yeah.
And we're really going to be pushing to the YouTube channel, where there's going to be a lot of stuff from both sides of the house, from the travel company as well as the podcast. So should work out really nicely, actually.
This just popped into my head, but I think it would be a lot of fun to do a vlogging YouTube while we're all together for Mickey Guru weekend, and maybe introduce some of our other agents and kind of show a little bit about what we do when we're up there because we have a retreat every year where we all gather in New Hampshire, and we do work, but we do play too.
Isn't it funny? You all get together to retreat. It's kind of a...
Well, just retreating from everybody else.
Yeah.
Now you're going to be a guru. You'll be under the Mickey
do
Guru.
I get to go to New Hampshire?
Oh, do you get to go to New Hampshire?
You can if you'd like to. You are going to be a guru. I don't know if you'll find the rest of it interesting, but...
Yeah.
I'm just telling you that I won't be sleeping with you if you go, because I already have my group of girls that I hang out with and sleep with. Like, we all buddy up together.
She's got girls that she sleeps with.
I got girls.
Kyle.
But if there's other guys that are going to be there, you can...
You can sleep with them.
No, you cannot.
Here's the thing, which would be fabulous, though, because every year, now I love you, but every year I go sleep with Eric while all of my friends are upstairs, and usually they're laughing. And so I literally will go to bed, and then I leave him and go upstairs and sit in the middle of the room and talk to them until we can't stay awake anymore. And then I go back downstairs.
Right.
This year's house has a lot more space.
Right.
So I
may
might
not
just
see you this week.
You
that
may
weekend.
not. I may just say, you know what? You can have that king bed all to yourself, and I'm going to go upstairs with the girls.
Well, see, you could come and you could hang out with Eric. Y'all could talk
We'll see.
technical stuff.
Yeah. Some of us may have to stay home and recoup the cost of this extended vacation we're all on right now.
Hey, flights are cheap.
Yeah.
And it's a gathering less than 25 people.
Okay, so we're
So it's fine.
So far right now, we're okay.
Yeah.
Surgeon General approved.
Yeah, exactly, right? Anyway, definitely we're going to do some sort of a Facebook Live event. Not Facebook, I'm sorry. YouTube Live.
I'm sure there'll be some Facebook Lives too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, cool.
Yeah, definitely. Anyway, so let's talk about, got that business out of the way. Let's talk about what tonight's topic is. Oh dear. Using hands. So tonight's topic is...
Hands are okay. We do YouTube now too.
That's true.
Just keep them to yourself.
Sorry. Tonight's topic is, so you are the Disney fan and you're wanting to go to Walt Disney World or Disneyland, but the other person in your family, significant other, or maybe the kids in your family are like, oh, I do not want to go to Disney. I really just want to stay home and play my video game, Mom, because that's like the cool thing to do, and watch my TikToks. I don't want to go to Walt Disney World. So how do you battle that? What do you do?
It's just theoretical, though, because we don't have that problem. So
no, we don't. Yeah. We have the opposite problem. Yeah. When are we going? When are we going? When are we going?
But we can help.
Yeah. We're starting to get a little bit of that from ours.
Oh, yeah, but ours is turning into, like, I want to see the rest of the world.
Yeah.
It's not like I don't want to go anywhere with you guys. It's like I want to go everywhere with you guys.
Right.
Right.
Oh, great.
And I keep saying, she's like, I want to go to Spain. I'm like, we could go to Mexico at Epcot.
Yeah. I know we're getting both of that.
Yeah, we are.
Yeah, because you guys did the European trip.
Yeah.
Right. So they definitely want to do more world traveling, but we also have to go to Disney too.
Yeah.
You know, and I'm like,
can't do both.
At some point, you know, the well's not that deep. But anyway, so let's go through some scenarios. I know I have my response to the video game player, but let's just start with that. Like, let's say a client comes to you and says, you know, we're planning this trip and we're super excited about going to Walt Disney World. I'm a huge Disney fan, but you know, my teenage son, he's just not feeling it. Are there any things that they can do, like video game wise, or is there anything there that might interest him? What would you say? How would you tackle that?
There's definitely some things for a teenage boy to do, I think.
Yeah.
Video game wise. One thing that comes to my mind is like at Disney Springs, there's a, and now of course the formal name of the place just right out of my head.
Why does that always seem to happen on the podcast? Like me in the 3:00 parade.
Exactly. But there is an electronic
Festival of Fantasy.
There's actually two. Correct me if I'm wrong, Eric. You guys, is the
Void.
cave, the Void? Is the Void still there?
Yes.
With the Disney themed stuff.
Yes.
That's one major, really cool high tech.
Yeah. I had actually forgotten about that till you mentioned it. But
yeah, that's a cool one.
It was really amazing, actually.
Yeah, and that's one that I haven't done, but I know you guys, you have.
It was good enough to be scary, actually.
Yeah. Really?
I remember that there was like a spot that she needed to walk over, and she was like, "I can't do this," and I'm like, "It's not really there. You're just going to step on the floor. You're not going to fall off."
Yeah, but it doesn't feel like that.
But it's really good virtual reality.
Yeah.
I'm trying to remember, what was the other one? There was a
Wreck-It Ralph.
That's right.
It had a Star Wars version and then a Wreck-It Ralph.
Okay.
Yeah, we did the Star Wars one.
Yeah.
Yeah, of course.
And then at the other end of Disney Springs, down there Cirque du Soleil, right?
What?
That end of
the Void?
No, the other.
What other place?
Complex that has like video games.
Are you thinking of what used to be Disney Quest, but is now the NBA Experience?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, that's NBA Experience.
That's just the NBA Experience.
Right.
Bring back Disney
Quest.
Okay, never mind.
Yeah. So the NBA Experience was pretty cool too, though. So if you're talking about teenage boys that really enjoy sports and stuff like that, that's actually
nope. Really cool. Our boy doesn't like sports. He likes video games.
Esports. There's no esports complex yet.
She doesn't know boys.
Oh, okay. Esports. Okay.
So here comes my witchy moment.
It's going to sound something like, get in the car, we're going.
Yeah, I would definitely look for opportunities for there to be other things that they may like.
Right.
So I would talk about NBA Experience. I would talk about foot golf, which is an option.
Foot golf?
And I know we haven't done this yet.
Where is that?
I want to play foot golf so bad because I feel like I could do that. So
it's is it like soccer, but on a golf course?
Essentially, yeah. It's
on a golf course.
Oak Trail, I believe is the name. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And it's basically the golf course functions as golf, and then it also has foot golf.
Oh.
And I haven't done it yet. I have friends that have done it. And they say
at Walt Disney World they've done it?
Yeah.
Okay.
So, I mean, I would be the kind of person that would say, like, okay, I know you like to do game stuff and competition stuff, so let's look at some of that, maybe mini golf, that sort of thing. But other than that, we're living in the real world. We're taking a vacation with our real family.
Mm-hmm.
No. You know, there is the Walt Disney World Play app.
Well, that's what I was going to say. That was my suggestion. I feel like that's somewhat of a compromise. It's not, your kid's not sitting in the hotel room playing their Xbox or PS4 or whatever it is they have that they brought with them. Instead, you left that at home, but they do have games inside the parks that they can play. Now, they're probably not as intense or whatever as, you know, what they normally, that particular child may be used to playing, but do you feel like that's a good compromise, Christy, or are you still like, no, we're not going to do Disney Play either?
You know, I think if your family is going to play Disney Play together,
mm-hmm.
I think I'd compromise in that regard.
Yeah.
But
we tried it a little bit in Galaxy's Edge.
Yeah, I was going to say that like the scavenger hunt piece that they have in Galaxy's Edge is actually really fun.
Mm-hmm.
I did that by myself when I had gone, and I really enjoyed that too. So, I mean, that's definitely, like you said, it's kind of a game. Mm-hmm. You got to kind of figure it out as you're going along, which is the nice part. There isn't any real instruction or anything to it. You just got to kind of figure it out. So if you've got somebody who's interested in that type of gaming and stuff, then that would be fine.
And there's also that, and it's not virtual, but the card game. I forget what it's called.
Oh, yeah. Sorcerer Mickey's?
Yeah, Sorcerer of the Kingdom, right?
Sorcerer of the Kingdom.
Yeah.
Like, that's another way that if they enjoy game and, you know, some kind of like figuring out clues and that sort of thing, that's a great way to engage them in the parks and having fun together.
And just if you don't know what Christy's talking about, at the Magic Kingdom, at the fire station, you can go and tell them that you want to play Sorcerer's Kingdom, blah, 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 and you will get, you can tell them it's your first time, and they'll walk you through the whole process. But each time you go in Magic Kingdom, you can say that's your first time playing that particular visit, and you get a pack of cards, 7 or 8 cards in a pack, and they give you a map, and they tell you where your starting point is and where all you can play in the park, but you're casting spells with those cards. So it's really cool. It's a card / interactive game. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So, and you can collect those cards. Like our daughter Amelia, she collected them for quite a while and still has the collection of them. And we could play Old Maid with them and stuff because you get duplicates and stuff. So anyway, it's a free thing that Disney has that, if you're not aware of it, check it out the next time you're in Magic Kingdom. Mm-hmm. That's pretty cool. Good thing to do when it's raining too.
Yeah.
There's one other thing I can think of is personally when I was, a teenage boy.
Did they have video games then?
Ooh, Pong. Dum, 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 dum.
Or the tennis on the Atari. You know how I was like,
need I remind you what I do for a living?
Yes, but you said when you were a teenage boy, you didn't exactly do that then.
Oh, yes. That's what I started doing. Anyway.
Doom.
And he ended up where he is now.
That's right. He played Doom.
But.
The OG.
That was college. But anyway.
Oh, sorry.
No, seriously. You could use this as a carrot because I know I would have loved to have access to this. But you could say, hey, if your son's into this kind of thing, say there's this Mitsukushi department store.
Oh, yeah.
That has the Japanese anime characters and stuff, and like the the die-cast figurines and stuff like that. That you can use that as a carrot to say, save up your money, or hey, we'll treat you to something.
And we shouldn't say boy. I notice we keep saying boy, but the girls love
absolutely
just as much,
especially that. So that could be a thing too. Use that as a.
Mm-hmm. And if they're also into that Pokemon game, you can play that around Disney World too. I know that's kind of gone out of fashion for most people, but
I think some of the younger kids, it's still there.
Yeah, no, for the
definitely.
hardcore people, it's still big.
Those are still things.
Yeah.
And regular geocaching, I think there's...
Oh, yeah.
That goes on there, too.
Oh, we love geocaching. That's the one thing in the parks we haven't done. We haven't really... I
think it's discouraged in the parks.
Yeah. I don't think they have any Disney sanctioned geocaches.
Right. They don't really want people leaving stuff lying around, right?
Right.
Yeah.
But I bet there's still some out there. I mean,
there was
until Disney starts sponsoring us.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right. You found one on the island.
The one on the island.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Yeah.
It's obviously been there for a while. There was a lot of notes and stuff left in it, and the thing was, kind of ragged. So that had obviously been there for a while.
I don't know. I hate to be like, I just feel like if we let our kids make those decisions sometimes, they'll make the wrong ones.
Right.
Like staying home and playing video games and missing out on family vacations. Mm-hmm. So I like the idea of some compromise.
Right. That's what I think.
Get them into it. And then honestly, my feeling is that once they're in it, they're probably going to have fun.
Exactly.
Right. That's what I think too. Yeah. But you can at least sell them on, hey, this is what we're going to do. This is going to be some brand new stuff. You can't even play the Disney Play app until you're in the parks, really. Mm-hmm. So it's just a kid thing. No, it's not. There's adults that play it and have fun with it and stuff. So, I'm allowing you to do that, or I give you a choice to do that. Right. So what if you had a big outdoorsman husband that just really does not like crowds and
the big boy? Yeah,
he's
the big kid.
The big kid, and he really likes to do his outdoor stuff. His hunting and his fishing and hiking and all that kind of stuff. And he just, I don't want to walk around on pavement all the time. Why do they all have Southern accents? I need to stop that.
I was going to say, you did it.
So I actually had this client.
Oh, really?
I did, and this wasn't that long ago. But the mother reached out and said that they wanted to do this trip, but her husband didn't want to go. Mm-hmm. And at first I was like, oh, okay. And then she's like, but we need to convince him to go because I think once he's there, he'd have a blast. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So we made sure we picked the right resort. We picked a cabin at Fort Wilderness.
Oh, yeah.
Because he was a wilderness. He wanted to cook his own meat on the grill kind of guy. Like,
right.
Very, very much that mindset. Mm-hmm. And then he also loved to ride bikes. So they rented bikes for the whole family.
Did they rent the Surrey bikes?
No, they did individual bikes, which was fabulous. Okay.
She said he liked to ride bikes.
Yeah, exactly. Right. He wasn't looking for torture.
He left still liking to ride bikes.
He did. I was all excited about the go-kart, and as I'm talking to her, she was kind of like, oh. And I was like, okay, how about bikes? She's like, oh, we ride bikes as a family all the time at home. So let's do that. So they were able to do that.
So they didn't like the golf carts then?
They never ended up trying them because she said that they were really very much like not interested in golf carts. Oh. And this was before our big adventure.
Yeah.
So I wasn't able to
that you have from that.
Right. Yeah. But she booked him on a fishing excursion. And while he was doing that, she took the kids to Bibbidi Bobbidi Boutique. So he didn't have to do that.
Endure that. Yeah.
Yeah. And then they also, and I got to find I think it's called the Walt Disney World Nature Reserve. Mm-hmm. I think that's the official name of it. But they actually rented a car for the day and went out there.
Oh, did they really?
Because she was she was also very excited. She was thrilled to do all the Disney stuff too, but they do like nature stuff.
Okay.
So they ended up doing that for a day, and I had her tell me about it because
I was going to say, now that's something that we haven't done, and we have a car always, so we should try that sometime. Mm-hmm. I've seen
she said it was great.
Bloggers do it before.
Yeah.
Well, I could see, depending on what his bent is as far as what kind of nature or what kind of nature a person may like, there's also stuff, behind the scenes stuff at Animal Kingdom that someone might like too.
Oh, yeah, that's true. Yeah. I didn't think about that, true. But the Wild African Trek or something might be really cool because you get to, so you're not hunting, but you're looking for animals and you have to be quiet.
Animal behavior and stuff like that.
Yeah, animal behavior stuff that it really goes into when you are actually hunting for sport.
Well, outdoorsman doesn't necessarily mean hunting.
Yeah, this guy was not a hunter.
Yeah.
But he wanted to be outside.
Mm-hmm.
He wanted to be more in nature than what he imagined, because he was really stuck on Magic Kingdom.
Yeah.
Like, and Dumbo and stuff. So
right.
he struggled with that quite a bit, but he ended up absolutely loving it. And what the feedback was the ability to go do that kind of stuff, like the
right.
characters and that kind of thing, but then come back to the cabin and either ride their bikes or walk back to their cabins, like, and have that downtime where you don't feel like you're in. Like the worst place ever for them would have been like All-Star Movies.
Oh yeah,
it would have been an assault constantly.
AstroTurf,
right?
Or off property,
right?
Somewhere like an international drive or something would have been murder.
Like a Quality Inn.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, that'd be murder for any of us.
He ended up having a blast. He said it's not a place he'd go every year, but that he would definitely go back. Which that was a win.
That's a win. Yeah, right.
Especially when you've got somebody who's like, nope, not interested.
Yeah, he was ready to stay home. And she just was like, I don't want pictures of us on vacation without Dad.
Yeah. Right, that's exactly. Awesome. And that's a big thing. I mean, I feel like it's an expensive vacation. We all know that. And you don't want to miss an integral part of your family, and you don't want to just totally, your feelings don't matter. So I think that was an awesome compromise. You did a great job with getting. That's perfect. Right. Perfect scenario.
It was a fun trip to plan, obviously, because it was like
not your normal.
Right?
It makes you actually dig in and think about all the stuff that's there. And that's the thing. There's a million different options at Disney World.
So. Well, the funny thing is, and this is tooting our own horn as travel agents, the whole process, she kept saying, I would never have known any of this stuff if you hadn't told me. She's like, you don't get this from a website.
No.
She's like, I never would have known about the nature reserve. I never would have known about the difference in the hotel accommodations and how that would have worked. Yep. So I remember thinking, like, I knocked this one out of the park.
Good job. So there are people that like the trailer park, Eric.
I guess,
for me, we don't know them, but.
Yeah, right. I only know one who does, like, for sure. So
I do, and my dad.
All right, I know 2, 3.
Christy, do you really like it?
So here's the thing.
Okay,
I do, but it's not the same kind of trip.
No.
Yeah.
But I grew up camping. Like, I lived in the city-ish suburb of a suburb growing up. I had a backyard, so that was not missing, but we went camping every single weekend from May to late October when I was growing up. So I feel at home in that environment.
Right.
And although it was an adjustment at the cabins because I'm used to being able to be in the parks.
Yeah, exactly.
I would love, maybe it's just the coronavirus quarantine with me right now, but I would love to be at Fort Wilderness in a cabin and have an opportunity to walk the trails and ride those golf carts again, because those are freaking awesome.
Well, the golf carts were fun, yeah. But we had things to look at too. That was part of it. That was just the Christmas decorations were overwhelming. When you went camping as a child, did you do tent camping? Is that what you did?
No.
So
most of my camping was in a pop-up.
Okay.
Because my parents bought that first. And then probably when I was like 8, they graduated to a smaller hardtop trailer.
Yeah.
And then by the time I was in college, my dad had his first fifth wheel trailer.
Yeah. So I think that makes a difference.
Yeah. But even the pop-up is essentially a tent with more comfortable beds, because it literally has.
But that makes all the difference.
Yeah.
Because I think about when I say camping, I automatically think of tent camping.
Oh yeah.
And it's the hard sleeping on the hard surface is what does me in.
Yeah, I've never done that.
I don't care for that.
Even as a kid, I had a tent on a platform, but I had either a cot or an air mattress. So I have never had to sleep on like rocky ground. That's not my thing.
Yeah.
But I forgot about my tent that we had. That was so much fun. We had a beachfront site at the lake campground.
Okay.
So like the camper was here, and then we had my tent on a platform right close to the water, so I could hear the water all night. Eric's like falling asleep. He doesn't.
Hey, that's probably part of the reason why you like on the cruise ships.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Did you ever tell Eric what we did when we roomed together on the cruise? That we left the door open.
Leave the door open.
Yeah, we did.
Do that on this one too.
Oh, did you?
I was like, what did we do?
Yeah, I was like, this would be an awkward time to have that conversation.
Like,
it's best. He's not going to beat you. He's not going to beat you in front of other people.
Right.
No, we slept with the door open. So, yeah.
You can see how she reacted to that. She ran through the list of things in her head. Like, okay, what things did we do?
Because we did all kinds of bad stuff.
Right. We did all kinds of
one. Was that one night?
Was it that awful island thing we went to, or was it?
Right.
Was it the money we spent at the casino? No, we didn't gamble, so that wasn't
I
it.
had a little too much to drink, and
no, we had the drink package and didn't even have too much to drink.
Right.
You're saying that.
Not like some people that passed out in the middle of the atrium area.
Right.
Goodness.
That ship is interesting for that.
Yeah.
Cruising brings up a good point, because it popped into my head that, remember, not so many years ago, that cruising, case in point.
That's true.
I was I was probably a hard sell, but I was not a hard sell as much as just a very
trepidatious.
Suspicious.
Yeah.
About cruising.
And now Amelia was a hard sell for sure.
Absolutely. Yeah. Even to this day, she's kind of
we have to remind her how much she did enjoy it when she got on.
And we've also had to make some compromises with Amelia.
Yeah.
But that aside, I think a lot of people that now that I love cruising, I've noticed that I've been more conscious of it. And I think I've noticed people who like cruising, people who don't like cruising, or people who just have absolutely no idea what cruising is, and have no concept of, wow, what would it be like being on a boat or a ship for, any amount of time,
right?
Much less, 7 days.
So, if you're looking back to who we started talking about to begin with, that teenager, that it doesn't really want to hang out with the family, wants to do their own thing. Now you start talking about like a Disney cruise or something like that, where you've got
there are video games
all
there,
kinds of options for that kid.
Right.
That kid can go and literally only see their parents for, lunch and dinner if they want.
That's true.
Be hanging out, doing whatever else they want to do, on their own.
Yep.
Yeah.
Trip. And they can play video games and stay up at the dance club and all the other stuff that they have for the teen clubs.
Mm-hmm.
So there's, 1,000 options for those kids.
Well, my friend had her son. She went on a Disney cruise with her son, who was 14 at the time.
Right.
And their daughter, who was 3.
Well, that's a big age gap.
Yes.
That's a hard vacation there.
Yeah. And she was really unsure because he's not necessarily what you'd call outgoing. And, she didn't think he would like the teen clubs. And it ended up being she had to force him to come to dinner.
Really?
Yes. And he has pictures of...
And it's a single 14-year-old boy.
Yes.
Wow.
Yes, who's not really into video games. He plays some of them, but that's not his thing.
Yeah.
Maybe he had discovered something else at 14. What could that be?
Girls.
Yeah. Right. Girls, maybe. But he ended up getting pictures of himself with all of the teen club people. And he was there from the moment that he got up in the morning, forced to come to dinner. And when you talk to him about it, granted, he doesn't talk to me very much. Now he's a 16-year-old boy.
Yeah,
but
right.
When you say to him, tell me what you thought about the magic, he can't shut up.
Oh, wow.
Like, it's wild to me, especially considering our daughter is not a fan of the teen clubs.
Yeah, the total opposite.
Total opposite.
Yeah.
But he was very suspicious at first, and then absolutely had the time of his life and keeps talking about wanting to go back.
That's great. I mean, good for him.
Yeah.
Interesting. So what about
an adult though? How would you sell a cruise, Disney or otherwise, to an adult who has
gee, Christy, how would you do that?
Yeah.
You guys have heard that story, right?
Which one?
One about Eric not wanting to go on a cruise.
Oh, yeah. I have. Yeah.
Real brief for our listeners that haven't heard that. When I first became a travel agent, I started stowing away money so that I could afford to purchase a cruise because none of our family funds were ever going to be put towards cruising, ever. So I kept...
Because Eric was never going to cruise, right?
Oh, God, no. Why would I ever do that? Everything I want to do, I can do on land. I don't need to go on a boat to do it. Why do people do that? And I'm talking the week before we set sail, he is angry as a polecat, which I don't even know what that means, but I've heard it before.
It's a skunk. A polecat is a skunk.
Oh, I never knew that.
Yes.
Yeah.
Learn something.
Yeah. So he was furious, and he was like, how about we cancel the cruise, and then we will go spend a week at the Grand Floridian, and we'll do, and I was like,
he didn't want to go, did he?
Wow. And I was like,
not at all.
No, we are going on the cruise. So I basically had to force him onto the boat.
Right.
Essentially.
He loved it.
Yep.
And 5 cruises later.
Exactly.
Actually, that was your 6th because you were gold.
Yeah. So 5 cruises later.
Oh.
After that.
Yeah. I guess. Yeah.
But so I want to hear how Gina would sell it because I didn't really sell it. I just said, get on your boat.
You're going. Yeah.
You are going.
I guess I would probably talk to them about things that they enjoy. It's like, so are you a foodie? Do you enjoy food? Oh yeah. I love food. Good steak. Yes. Oh, I love a good steak. Yeah. Well, and then I'd talk about the dining. Well, you've got 3 different restaurants. You've got servers, the exact same servers every night taking care of you. And, that meal that you had the first night that you absolutely loved, well, guess what? You can have it again. And you can have another meal with that. And it doesn't cost extra, So it's great for foodies because you can really try whatever you want without having to worry about the price and the cost of the food. And so if it was somebody that maybe was, they like to travel, they like to travel and they like to lay out on the beach and just, have their tropical drinks and that's just what they want to do, then I would probably say, so like a nice cool breeze with, waiters walking by asking you to take your drink and, having nice lounge chairs to lay in with a towel. That's not fun. That's not interesting to you. Well, no, that's exactly what I like to do on the beach.
Reverse psychology.
Yeah, that's exactly what you do when you're on the cruise. Plus, there's
you should sell real estate. She paints a picture for them.
Yeah,
that is what I want.
That's why she's so good at selling travel. We don't need to sell real estate.
It really is.
That's the key to it. You show them that it is part of something that they're comfortable with.
But wait, don't you?
Honestly,
the cruising.
Should we break the bad news to Gina about that to me? Like how my response to that was?
Oh, I don't want to be out in the sun.
Everything you just said would have made me go, nope, not going. Because I heard all this already. I was not a foodie at the time.
Okay.
And the idea of taking a beach vacation made me cringe.
Right.
Like just curl up and want to hide in the corner and like not go anywhere near this. So literally at the end of the day, like Christy said, it was like, listen, shut up and get on the boat.
Right.
That was the only thing that was going to do it.
And sometimes that's just what it has to be.
Sometimes it does have to just be that. Like
it's like, don't you like to make your wife happy? Well, how nice is it when your wife is happy? How much more do you enjoy it when she's happy?
So the piece.
Take her on a cruise.
Right.
Exactly.
The piece that we didn't touch on and we didn't really have a solid understanding of at the time is it wasn't so much that I didn't want to do this stuff. It was the travel anxiety piece.
Yeah, right.
And, I know.
And that's the same with Amelia.
We talked about that in the episode a couple weeks ago.
Mm-hmm.
That's really what it came down to for me. This is something completely unknown.
Right.
We're getting on a boat. We're going to another country. We're like,
have you seen Titanic?
Right. We're doing all these things and oh my God, like this is terrible. Yeah, right. Titanic. We're cruising through the Caribbean, literally. Right. Like it's not going to be an issue.
There's no icebergs in the Caribbean.
No. but that's really more for me what it ended up being. It was actually more of the anxiety piece than any of the
right.
Well, and I want to make sure we caught what Gina started with was basically not trying to convince somebody who, I mean, other than your spouse, then you just get on the damn boat.
Yeah.
Right.
But if you're talking to a client about it, you're like, what is it that you like to do?
Right, exactly.
And then you might get to a point where you go, yeah, you're right.
You're right.
Isn't
This
free.
is not, exactly. It's just not a good.
What do you like
not
to
a
do?
good
I
fit.
like to do Disney World.
Right.
What do you like to do Disney World? I know Disney World.
Right.
Exactly what it is. I want to go there.
One of the things that I talk to people a lot about that makes a difference for them is when I talk about the fact that it is the perfect family vacation, but also the perfect adult vacation all in one.
Right.
If your kids are over 3, they have the kids club for free during your cruise. So I'll talk to people about the fact that, like, do you want alone time with your spouse? Do you want to be able to get a couples massage or go learn how to make various drinks at, at the bar?
Right.
Do you want to enjoy a nice gourmet meal without having kids around? Everybody is like,
yeah, please.
right? And you're like, okay, kids club is free. You won't pay any extra for that. So let them go have fun and doing all their kid stuff. And then you can have some alone time with your spouse.
Right.
And that gets, especially the guys, every time.
You can go to whiskey tasting and forget about the fact that you've got kids.
Kyle had chocolate with his whiskey this week.
Right? It was good, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
Did you also see the video of me trying the whiskey?
I did, and it was funny. It was
pretty good, right?
It was pretty funny.
Pretty funny. What I loved was the swirl. Just swirling in it.
And then bang.
Yeah, it was good whiskey, and you shot it, and I was like, oh no, you just wasted really good whiskey.
Yeah.
No.
I actually enjoyed mine. I got a good 3 or 4 sips out of it. I was enjoying it as it was going down.
It tasted horrible. I was so glad I just swallowed it and moved on.
It tastes just like you licked the inside of an oak barrel, didn't it? That's what it tastes like to me.
To me, the only taste I got out of it was cough medicine. So I didn't. I wasn't able to savor. Like the lady was like, "Oh, chew it." No, don't.
That I didn't understand.
Yeah.
The liquid spewing out of your mouth.
Get it moved around in your mouth, I guess. I was actually thinking of that. That was when I was at the grocery store the other day. As this, all this stuff was coming down, I was like, I should go to the liquor store and I should probably get some good whiskey. And then I went, I'm not thinking right now is probably the best time to take up being an alcoholic. Especially way too easy to just go down the rabbit hole there.
Right.
I'm like, you know what? No, I think I'll wait.
Especially when you run out of that first good bottle and the liquor store's closed, and you're like, no.
Yeah. That's what
or you're working from home all the time. For the next foreseeable future. First it's one after dinner, and then it's one after lunch.
Productivity goes.
What happened?
Oh gosh, that's a sad story.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, anyway.
But I think that's the piece, especially if people are hesitant about a Disney cruise. Like, you may have some people that are like, I'm fine with a regular cruise, but trying to convince somebody in your family to go on the Disney cruise, there's a lot of things that are non-Disney about it.
Right. That's one of the first things that I tell people. It is not all about characters and meet and greets with the characters and stuff like that. Yes, that's a piece of it, but you don't have to be a part of that if you don't want to.
Yeah, I mean, it's actually really easy to avoid all that.
We didn't do it at all.
We didn't do any of this trip.
Yeah.
We didn't see any of the characters. I mean, we saw them walking by, right? You high-five them or you just see them with other people, but we didn't visit any.
The same with Adventures by Disney. A lot of times people are like, I don't want to go on a tour with Mickey Mouse. It's like, oh, yes, you do. It is not about the characters. This is all about
It's all about quality and luxury.
And customer service like you have never experienced before.
And the Disney, the mouse comes as a icing on the cake.
Yeah, I think you get a pin that has him, maybe.
Yeah.
Did you see the Paddle of Power?
Right.
I want to go on that trip.
Right.
God, I want to go on that trip.
Oh, I know. They have, for people that don't know, adventure guides, if you're doing Adventures by Disney, have a paddle that you follow when you're doing the tour or whatever, but they say it has the power to get them into locations and things that you don't normally get into. And so, like seeing the Sistine Chapel at night when no one else is there, let me tell you, you can't do that any other way.
Well, we got to go to the Grand Ole Opry and enter through the artist entrance.
That's cool.
Have you seen that new show that's supposed to be starting called The Circle? And it's all the country artists, and they're standing in the circle on the Grand Ole Opry. And I'm like, we stood in that circle.
Like telling stories or something?
I don't know. That's all I know about it, is that's what it's referencing, is the circle on the stage. The circle on the stage at the Grand Ole Opry is from the original Wyman Theater, right? And so it's just a circle of that wood, but that's when you're performing. That's where you stand. That's the sweet spot. So anyway.
I did just hear that something about how there's been a show at the Grand Ole Opry every week for, I don't know how many years, but it was like decades and decades. Right. And now they're still doing that, but just to a closed
audience. Just to keep it running.
So they have the artists go and do the performance, and they're going to be live streaming it.
Oh, cool. Good.
So that was cool.
Yeah.
Adjustments in these new days.
Yep.
Right. That's what it's all about. A new way, a new day.
Yeah. I think we're going to see an explosion of creativity, at least for foreseeable future.
Right. Yep. Maybe we'll be selling virtual travel. Here's a pair of goggles for you. Right. I'm just joking. Just joking. All right. Are there any other scenarios that you guys can think of that would be a hard sell?
Or a creative sale.
A creative sale, yeah. Not in and I don't mean it in such a way that's what I'm turning this show into, is how you sell something.
No.
But just that there are alternatives to Disney or Disney Cruise Line or Adventures by Disney. There's always more to the story. There's more to the story with Disney. And I think that's what makes it such a phenomenal product and company. Yeah. I know during this time, I have been super impressed at the fact that they put Frozen 2 and now they're about to put Onward on Disney Plus at no additional charge. Mm-hmm. I mean, Onward just released in the theaters. Mm-hmm. So I will say that is the one thing during this COVID crisis that has restored a little bit of faith in humanity for me, is the private industry stepping up and doing nice things just because it's the right thing to do. Mm-hmm. Not because they're told to, not because they're made to, or that they're getting any extra money for it, but it's just the right thing to do. It's the nice thing.
And people, too, that are doing things. Like if you have a celebrity, a singer, or somebody that you like to listen to or go to concerts for, so many of them are doing stuff on Instagram Live and Instagram TV. Like I was laying in bed last night watching Donnie Wahlberg and Joe McIntyre from New Kids on the Block.
Of course you were.
Alive together. Yeah. And it was like, Donnie did it for like 2.5 hours. And wow. He had fans pop up on the screen with him. Like it was just, and Harry Connick Jr., who I'm not a huge fan of, but he's doing nightly concerts in his living room.
Well, cool. And I think John Legend's been doing some too.
His was fabulous. I'm not a huge John Legend fan either.
Oh, I like John Legend, yeah.
But only because I hadn't paid attention to him. Yeah. Mm-hmm. But he did a really good job. And I was like, these people, because they're creative beings and they care about other people.
And they have access to the internet, they're just going to put stuff out there.
Yeah, they have to create. They have to have an outlet.
Well, Maddie has...
Dropkick Murphys did a concert for in Boston for St. Patrick's Day. They've been playing St. Patrick's Day in Boston for 25 years. That's like a staple in the town of Boston. And all their friends come, and that's how they see everybody and everything. And they weren't able to do that this year. And they managed to put it together and put on a full show. They did 2+ hours.
Wow,
cool. And put it all online live for everybody to watch. And it was like, that's really cool.
That is
just
really
a really neat way of doing it. And I know Andrew Lloyd Webber and Lin-Manuel Miranda were doing something back and forth over Instagram or something the other night. But it's just, they're all getting into it because they're stuck home too. Right. Exactly. They want to get to that. They want to put that stuff out there and let people see that, hey, you know what? There's still stuff to be had. Not that I want to make this a COVID episode, but, there's some cool stuff out there.
Maddie's turned into a Jimmy Fallon fan because he's doing all these recordings from home.
Yes.
And she loves them. And Lin-Manuel Miranda was on one.
Yep.
And she was like, it was just so funny to watch them. She's like, they interact just like us, you know?
Yep.
And before we started recording, we were watching one where he's talking to Jennifer Garner.
Yep.
And she's like, oh, yeah, Reese jumped on it. And, anytime Reese does anything, and she's like, talk about Reese Witherspoon, just like
right,
using her first name, just, oh, Reese,
People just like us.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So it's really cool. So
it's definitely something that there is some good stuff.
Yep,
there are. Yep. All right. Well, I think that's going to do it for tonight. I hope everybody continues to be safe and happy and enjoying our episodes. Don't forget, like we said, Fab 4 Travel Talk is still going to be around, but we would love for you to go see us at Mickey Guru Travel Talk, MGTT. I like that. I don't know, it has a MGTT. So anyway, and you can find us there at Mickey Guru Travel Talk. .com.
Yep.
I forgot what I was saying. Anyway, just like you find us at Fab 4. So.
Just heard a spring break, I think.
I know. All right. We will talk to you guys next week, if not before. So everybody have a great week.
Take care, everybody. See you soon.
What do I say? Can't say safe travels anymore.
No.
Not for now.
How about just stay safe?
Yeah. Stay safe, everybody.
Stay home.
Yeah.
Stay home. Yeah.
Flatten the curve.
All right. And for the last time from Fab 4 Travel Talk, bye, everybody.
Yep.